They call themselves Average Channel.
I got out to freedom, so I formed up a team, yeah. Guardians of the Galaxy. For as soft as can be, he's only 2 feet tall. But don't you be mistaken.
Hey guys, we just seen Guardians of the Galaxy.
For real this time. We actually saw it today.
Yeah,
Did you crack your voice on purpose?
You suck.
John.
I wanted to say
Quiet.
that as like a funny thing.
John. Okay, yeah, we've got a new guy here. Alright, now, what do we think?
It was awesome.
Yeah, one of the best movies that Marvel has made to date. Now, quick background, I think Iron Man 1 is probably still my favorite of the Avengers movies. I like the Avengers. I love Captain America 2. They're like my top 3. Guardians of the Galaxy is in that top 3. I don't know where yet, but it kicks out Captain America 2, sadly. I don't know where it is, but it's up there.
I am probably different because before this, Captain America 2 was my favorite Avengers film. I think I like X-Men Days of Future Past more than Captain America 2. But this is probably my favorite Marvel movie and my favorite movie of the year, I think, so far.
Yeah, it is for me right now, but it could change. I don't have an official list.
Yeah,
that'll
be later. At the end of the year, we'll probably do a top 10 for all of our not even tens of viewers to look forward to.
Yeah. Okay, now.
Alright, let's talk.
Alright, now, what do we need to say? Well, this is a movie about the B team of the Avengers in one movie, whereas, you know, the thing about the Avengers is it's like a big movie, everybody's seen it's a great movie, but the thing that I think about the most when I think of the Avengers is not how great it was. I think about how much of a bad movie it could have been if they didn't have a bunch of movies before it, if it wasn't a plan. If it were just a movie like thrown out together, just like Guardians of the Galaxy was done, where they put a bunch of people together in one movie without movies before it, it wouldn't have been as good. Guardians of the Galaxy was that scenario of Avengers, except it was done right and it was really good. And that's why I think I like it more than the Avengers, because it did exactly the same thing the Avengers did, except it took way more risks. And it did more things right as well. And it was way funnier. This was a funny movie.
Definitely.
So funny.
Yeah,
The humor was probably the thing you'll remember most about it.
Yeah, you knew that from the moment you saw the trailer. Except when I saw the trailer, I thought I was going to hear the song, but I only heard it once. I thought it was going to play
But there was
more.
lots of songs. There was like
There was a bunch.
70 songs and they were all cool.
There were so many moments in this movie, though, where I wanted the song to play, though.
I wish it would have played at the end instead of that other song, but, you know, some people will want a lot more songs, as many songs as possible, but it was still good. I mean, the songs were good. The soundtrack was, I guess, was alright. It wasn't anything special. We didn't really notice that.
One of the things I liked a lot about this movie was in the Avengers...
Well, what other movie would you be talking about?
Okay. Whatever. In the Avengers, the heroes, they all were like... they weren't forced, but they were sort of planned ahead of time to join by S.H.I.E.L.D. And these guys, they just joined off their own initiative to be together. But in the Avengers, they were sort of like...
Nick Fury.
Yeah, they had Nick Fury who... in S.H.I.E.L.D. who basically just put them together for that specific reason. In this movie, they did it by themselves. They didn't have to, but they did anyways. So I like that more.
Yeah, I think these characters are way more, like,
Better than
grounded. They feel like normal people in their own world. If you take away the aspect of being in a different galaxy, they feel like how regular people would be.
Because they're not millionaires or people who used to be in World War II and now have extreme strength because of experimentations.
Good metaphor. Very subtle. You
Or
say
trained assassins.
You might as well just say they're not Iron Man. They're not Captain America.
Whatever. They're just average like us.
Yeah, so I guess what we're trying to say... Well, what are we trying... We're talking about the characters. What do we think of each individual character?
Rocket is probably all of our favorites. He's my favorite. He is the
Who's your favorite?
funniest.
I don't know.
He stole every scene he was in. There was one point in the movie where a bunch of cool stuff was happening. In the back of my mind, I was like, "Wait a minute, where's Rocket?" And then like a minute later, he comes up.
I'm like, there he is.
Yeah.
He's taller than he actually is.
Yeah. And then Groot, he's like Chewbacca, I guess.
Yeah, he's the Chewbacca of this movie, except he actually smiles.
Mm-hmm.
He's actually happy.
Oh.
I love their relationship. It's like, even though you think Chris Pratt's character is going to be the Han Solo of this movie, the way Rocket treats the Chewbacca of this movie, I don't know, it just seems...
that was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like a Han Solo Chewbacca kind of thing.
Yeah, it was.
Even though Star-Lord is sort of Han Solo-esque.
I don't really know what to say about Star-Lord. I mean, you've heard everything. You've heard what he's like. He's a really good character. I think he has the aspect of Han Solo down, which was really good. Like the kind of scoundrel, I guess you could say. That's like the key word for Han Solo. And then he's got the good sort of guy that can stand up and give a speech. He's also got that part down, which Han Solo doesn't have, which made him a really good character. Not as good as Han Solo, but a really good blend. And then what about Drax? What do we think about Drax?
I like Drax. He's not necessarily as good of a character as the other ones, but he's still... I like... he wasn't like I expected him to be at all. And I like how he's very literal. I mean, it's not really sport, but there's like... They don't like metaphors or anything. His culture, it's literal, it's kind of funny, it was unexpected. And then Bautista, whatever.
He's a good
wrestler. He's a good wrestler actor.
Yeah, he's him and
better than John Cena.
Not as good as The Rock, but like he's up there. And then Gamora, thank God, wasn't the Black Widow of this movie because I don't like Black Widow. She bores the crap out of me because she has. They said like, oh yeah, Captain America 2. They actually gave her humor. They went back from forth. No. She said everything she said. I knew she was gonna say. I would have said that. She's not special. Gamora's way better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She wasn't just she actually had way more character than Black Widow. Because all these superhero things, they always have like 4 or 5 dudes, and then they have to have one girl in the movie because they have to have a girl, I guess. But this movie, it didn't feel like they had to have a girl, so they put her in there. She actually felt like a good character. Yeah. They treated her like they could treat any other character. No one does that anymore.
No, I don't know if this is a spoiler or not, but at the end of the movie it says it has Guardians of the Galaxy, and then right below it, it says we'll be back. So I'm guessing there will be.
Everyone knows.
Everyone knows.
Everyone knows. It was announced at Comic-Con, and did you have to say right below it? That was one sentence. Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, it was Guardians of the Galaxy, and then.
Who cares? We're not talking about the credits here.
Whatever.
By the way, you don't have to stay for the after credits unless that character was actually really special.
No, I think if you are a Marvel fan, you'll probably really like the credits.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a big reveal. It could be a big reveal, maybe, if it was serious, but it was really funny.
I doubt it.
I don't know.
Yeah, so in the end, Guardians of the Galaxy, really fun, entertaining movie. Exactly what you expected to be. The trailers did the advertising perfectly.
Well, expect, like, I didn't know how the movie's going to play out at all. Like, there's some movies where I'm like, I have a general idea of, like, what the plot's going to be. I didn't know, like, I mean, it wasn't, like, super original Inception kind of thing, but, I mean, and the villain was sort of, he was functional, not to the blandness that the Dark Elf in,
Thor 2.
Malekith,
Thor 2.
Curse.
Oh, he has a name?
And then...
Malekith.
Malekith, yeah.
Wow.
Malekith is the Danger Prince of Orcs.
Anyway, Ronan the Accuser was functional, and he looked cooler than... He wasn't as bad as Malekith, but he wasn't like as good as the rest of the movie, for sure. I mean, the rest of the characters are way better than the villain in this.
He's trying to talk about the only negatives we've heard about this movie, which is the villain. Mm-hmm. The humor would have been a negative, like Thor the Dark World. Sometimes the humor was abrupt. It worked really well in this
There
movie.
was moments in Thor the Dark World when it was like trying to be like humor that might be in an Iron Man movie, but it would still be like...
Yeah, it was trying too hard. They think, like DC's trying to be way too dark, thinking that's special. Marvel's trying to be way too humorous, thinking that's special. And they are, but they're trying too hard to get apart from each other. DC's trying to be way too dark. Marvel's way over here trying to be way too funny. Mm-hmm. And this movie found like the perfect blend of both.
That's one of the best things about it was the tone. Was the tone, like set by the trailer. When you first see the trailer, you're like,
best trailer ever.
Yeah, it like starts and then. It's sort of serious, but it's like irony that it was serious at the beginning. It's like, come on, man, Star-Lord. Like, my name's Star-Lord. You should know me. And like from that moment, you know, like it's not a serious tone. It's gonna be funny. the whole movie. There was definitely good drama in the movie. It wasn't like all like it wasn't like a Dumb and Dumber movie. I saw the trailer before the movie, so that's why I said that. I've never actually seen it, but it wasn't like all funny lightheartedness. There was serious moments and there was drama, but and they did that well. And then there was comedy, and it never felt like it didn't work. It blended well, and yeah, it was like a B team. It was misfits, I guess you could call them, which is everyone likes a band of misfits together.
This movie is everything you'd expect it to be and better.
Yeah, it's everything you want it to be and better, and I think you always knew that. You knew that the whole time. You knew when you saw the trailer that it was going to be funny, but you didn't know it was going to be funny, and it actually worked. But it was. Okay, we conclude on that. Let's get to the rating system, because we're going on 10 minutes.
John, since you're replacing Brandon goes first.
Brandon always goes first, because he
okay.
makes the
Which do you want to do first?
Theoretical
First? Okay, theoretical, can I do personal first?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, personal.
Brandon did that first, and then we always did the
Personal first, I give it a 9 out of 10 because I don't like movies when they force these sexual jokes.
It wasn't
into
forced.
Well, I said
forced. None of
funny.
It was forced.
Well, it was put into
It's a little vulgar, but it's still funny.
Yeah, it's still funny, but
E for everyone.
I don't like it as
John
much
is
because
rated
I'm a rated E10.
You're rated.
Okay, you're rated E10.
You're
Give
rated
us your next one.
theoretical.
Okay, theoretical. I don't see anything really wrong with this movie except that they could have given the villain more screen time. So I'm gonna put it as a 9 out of 10 because I don't want to give it a 10 out of 10 because it's not perfect.
There's decimals on this show.
It's great. Oh, there is.
Yeah.
Okay, 9.5 out of 10.
Okay.
Anyway, you want to go? Okay.
Okay, yeah. For me, for theoretical, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10 because again, it wasn't perfect. The only fault I really had with it was the villain was kind of underwhelming. I think if they had made it more humorous, more like part of the humor, because this movie has like standoffs and stare-offs and like
At the end,
normal dark things that movies would have. This movie makes them funny. I think if they did that better with the villain, they made him more part of the humor. That would have been better. But that said, that's the only fault I have, and I would give it a 9 out of 10 for theoretical. But personal, I give it a 10 out of 10. It's probably my favorite movie of the year because the thing about this movie is it's probably the perfect movie for you if you are waiting your butt off for Star Wars Episode 7.
Hold on, Paul. Since I just found out there were decimals, I'm giving my preferred a 9.7.
Personal rating?
Personal rating 9.7. We got it. Okay.
Real quick before I do mine, if anybody actually cares or pays attention, for Edge of Tomorrow, I gave it theoretical 10 out of 10. And it is a great movie, but it was bugging me, like...
We don't care in this video!
I want to reserve 10 out of 10 for, like, a Dark Knight caliber movie, so I'm going to bump that down to 9.5. It was bugging me ever since we made that video, so I am saying that. But my theoretical rating for this movie is 9, because of all the reasons we've already stated. But personally, I'm going to give it a 10, because it's my favorite movie of the year. And that probably won't change as I think about it, but so far it is.
Mine might change.
My favorite. And...
Yeah, I think we can end on that. Any last things to say? No, okay. Aim for average. Goodbye.